is my moment.
Then let's fight for it. Come on.
Get the Disney Bundle today, only $13.99 a month.
Welcome to the ACC Network and a women's basketball game. A top 25 matchup as NC State, ripping off 10 straight wins since an opening day loss to South Carolina, gets ready to take on Georgia. Last time they met was 20 years ago this very day. And we welcome you to historic Reynolds Coliseum. Pam Ward along with former Wade Trophy winner Stephanie White. So a great game coming up ahead of us and a great win for Wes Moore in their last game.
Yeah, what an honor for Wes Moore, win his 200th game, and he was just so gracious in talking about, look, players win, and it's easy when you have good players to win basketball games, and he has had a storied career, but grateful and thankful for every player that he's been able to coach.
And one reason why he's winning a lot of games this year is they can really shoot the three ball.
Oh my goodness, can they shoot it? And everybody can shoot it. They lead the ACC in three-point field goal percentage. You can see what they've done the last 3 games, heating up even more. A season high 15 in a win at Pitt. You have to guard all 5 positions. That's what makes this NC State team so dangerous on the offensive end of the floor.
And the offense also helped on both sides of the ball by a couple of really good big players, Elisa Cunane and Jenna Stady.
Yeah, both of these players are really anchors for their respective teams. And you can see in their numbers they could potentially neutralize one another in this matchup. And if they do, which supporting cast is going to step up and score buckets?
NC State has never beaten Georgia. So Georgia, 8-0 all-time, and Joni Taylor, their head coach, taking them to high levels again, was the SEC Coach of the Year, playing a more up-tempo style of offense this season.
Yeah, this is a Georgia team that's really looking to push in transition, but they want to push with poise. They want to make sure they understand where their reads are in offense, and it is working wonders. Already this season, 4 games of 90 points or more.
In the previous 5 years, they only had 4 games where they scored 90 points total in that 5-year period, and already they're starting to fill it up. Good crowd for the 6 o'clock local time start, and we are underway. Georgia, number 17 in the nation, wearing their road reds. Michaela Coombs, one of 3 graduates who start on this team. Jenna Stady against Cunane right away, and she's bottled up.
Yeah, I think both of these post players want to keep one another off the block, push them out as far as possible.
And Coombs able to get the bucket her second year at Georgia after starting her career at UConn. And there you see the starting 5. And very quickly, Jakeem Brown-Turner, such a valuable player, unanimous first-team All-ACC player last year. And for Georgia, look at their starting lineup. Coombs, they already mentioned, and Barker, and look, they're already starting to score. Ashley Barker, a guard from Birmingham. Coach Joni Taylor says she could be mean as, can I say hell? Mean as hell out there. Cunane just blew by Stady.
Hey, I really like that right there, because Georgia's icing the on-ball screen, which means they're not allowing the offensive player to use it. And when you engage a big, kick it back out for a shot. And Cunane, because she's a threat out there, close out, have to go by somebody.
Cunane is in terrific shape. Wes Moore talked about that, but is concerned that that might be hurting a little bit of her physicality. Stady more physical down low, wants it, and was able to.
That's a really great catch. I mean, that is not an easy ball to find and to come up with. And Georgia's going to look for a steady dose of that high-low and that lob all night long.
Taylor Jones wasting no time getting that shot off, and Parker hunting the ball. Goes out of bounds, stays with NC State.
Well, look at the way, that little shot fake, and Joni Taylor talked about this is a team that's going to shot fake. We have to stay disciplined, and then the inside look for Stady. Good hands, able to get an easy finish.
And Stady really has transformed herself. Freshman year at Maryland, where she barely got off the bench, has dropped about 60 pounds. And the answer from Crutchfield. One of 3 graduates starting for NC State, taking advantage of the free COVID season. Isaacs in.
And that's big for Georgia. If they can get some point production from Jordan Isaacs. She averages under 2 points a ball game. And, you know, Westmore talked about Georgia as well. You have to guard all 5 positions, and it makes it tough to scout.
Isaacs starting for the last couple of seasons for this Bulldog team. And the shooting barrage continues. Kayla Jones doing a Kayla Jones thing. Just a great hustle player. And you talk about someone who has really transformed her game. She barely played as a freshman.
And those are players who just continue to get better. You know, they don't get impatient. They're not looking to just get out the door. They work every single day, improve every single day, and are ready when their opportunity is called.
Wow, now it's Reina Perez's turn.
Yeah, and when you can get those threes in transition, that's really good for NC State. It's very tough to defend. And, you know, you look at these numbers right here, second in the NCAA offensively for NC State and third defensively for Georgia from the three-point line. But it's tough in transition.
Absolutely. It's strength against strength, and Cunane is baffled that a foul has been called. And that was one thing Joni Taylor said would be a good thing to do, is to get Elisa Cunane into foul trouble.
Absolutely. The best way to neutralize somebody is to get them on the bench in foul trouble. And they wanted to attack her early. Stady does such a good job of posting for that lob.
In this game already, 9 field goals by 9 different players.
I love it, Pam. I love it.
That's balance.
Yes.
Freddie Coger getting it done as our stat guy, too. Stady missed them both.
Well, you can develop any scouting report to guard 1 or 2 people, but when you have to guard all 5 players on the floor, it makes it really difficult. You have to pick your poison.
Barker.
Got it. We're raining threes in transition. And Georgia wants to push. They're going to push off a make. They're going to push off of a miss. Being able to get back in transition defense and get matched up quickly is important.
And that was taken away by Morrison and then fouled by Cunane. Wow, 2 quick ones on Elisa Cunane, and in comes Camille Hobby to back her up.
Q Morrison, who was defensive player in the league in the SEC, she just gets right in between the handoff. You've got to come off tight if you're that guard. You cannot allow any space.
So Cunane sits down just 4 minutes into this game with the 2 personal fouls. Hobby is a really good defender on the post. Also a hard worker for State, number 41. Jones gets the miss. Kayla Jones attacking the basket. Stady right there. Stady's turned into a really good shot blocker. Coombs took steps.
I don't think that's a travel. I don't think that's a travel. You know, the Euro step, the ability to look awkward going off of an off step, off an off foot. I mean, we got to keep up with this.
Yeah.
Players are more athletic than they've ever been, Pam.
Right, so darn quick. Skilled. Joe Basile, Carla Fountain, Pualani, Spurlock, Welsh, our officials this evening in Raleigh. Crutchfield looking into Hobby, who's playing for Cunane. She's not afraid of anybody. Fans here wanting a foul. They're like, hey, you called 2 on Cunane.
Yes, exactly.
Stady's range.
It's impressive, just the growth and development of Jenna Stady. And Joni Taylor talked about it. She was mentally and from a confidence standpoint broken when she came to Georgia, and her ability to put in the work, to continue to grind, to open up.
Yeah, said she didn't really want to even have personal relationships, just came in and was shy, and as you said, and she said nothing against Maryland, which is where she was before. It was just Stady's confidence sunk after not hardly playing at Maryland, but there were so many good players ahead of her.
Yes.
And she had a long way to go. She had to get fit. She's done that at Georgia and blossomed.
Absolutely. And again, when you have a threat at that 5 position that can shoot the 3, you have to guard them everywhere on the floor. Look, they run a pin down for their 5 play.
How about that? Stady has already taken 4 shots. Both teams shooting well. Both teams 50% from the floor. As we hit our first timeout, we got some threes.
Matching up in transition is so important. You gotta have a hand up, close the gap. Jenna Stady's gonna make you pay.
Dunkin' is here with your holiday helpers. Peppermint mocha and toasted white chocolate signature lattes. A touch of delicious holiday magic to help you seize the season. Sip through the holidays with signature lattes at Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
All the gifts you really, really, really can't wait to unwrap. Joy fully.
Welcome back to Reynolds Coliseum. 9 different players have scored between the two teams. Elisa Cunane, huge, has played 4 minutes, out with 2 fouls. It's a 6-0 Georgia run. So Cunane is out, and Westmore talks about the luxury of being able to bring in Camille Hobby.
Yeah, Camille Hobby, a player that he's really excited about, what she brings to the table, and you can see her numbers last season to this season, and most recently in the last 3 games, she's averaging almost 11 points, shooting at 61% from the floor. And what I like about Camille Hobby is she's a different build. She's a different body type than Elisa Cunane. And when you think about the physicality of the bigs for Georgia, she gives them a different look.
Already had 5 ties and 2 lead changes in this game, and that's what Q Morrison does, right? Force turnovers.
Quick hands.
Georgia known for its defense, the offense catching up with it the last couple of years, especially this year. Running the Paul Westhead system. Barker already has 1 3. That one rimmed out. Crutchfield looking to run. NC State with Diamond Johnson now in the game. Number 0 over on the other side, but they didn't need to get it to her when you have Brown Turner.
And I think Jakia Brown Turner needs to do more of that. You know, she is such a good shooter, and their defenders are going to close out on her at the 3-point line, and she has the ability to put it on the floor.
Numbers down just a little bit offensively from last season. Mallory Bates into the game during that last timeout. Gets her first bucket. Diamond Johnson, what a dynamic little player she is, from Rutgers via Philadelphia. Got it.
She sure is. I mean, her ability to slice through defenders just like that, to score in traffic, her body control, her handle. I mean, she's an exciting player. Westmore said she doesn't give us a spark off the bench. She's a bonfire.
Javon Nicholson's turn to score. You will see a lot of players for both teams. Quality depth for both the Pack and the Bulldogs.
Quality depth and at every position, yeah. No, not one player has to go in deep into 30, 40 minutes of ball game.
Hobby couldn't handle it, so here comes Morrison on the run, converting. Nope. Almost went down. Hobby, who gave it up, is able to get it back. Nice pass. Beautiful to Crutchfield. Diamond Johnson, what a pass.
I mean, right on the money. And that's how you want to hit someone in transition so that they're in stride. They can go right into that layup.
There's such a talented point guard who can also score. Barker. Coach Taylor would like to see her maybe be a little bit more aggressive offensively. That was a good pass out of a double team.
And that was a great box out by Brown Turner.
Hobby bringing the ball up. And that's a backcourt violation.
Well, both teams want to push in transition. And look at this pass by Diamond Johnson, right on the money. Crutchfield able to finish.
It's like the quarterback hitting a wide receiver in stride for the touchdown. That's pretty. Diamond Johnson, all freshman last year at Rutgers, where she scored 18 points per game. Coach Westmore says she just loves to play basketball.
And that's what you want, right? You want gym rats who just love to play, who love to compete, who don't care whether they start or whether they come off the bench, but they impact the basketball game.
Jada Boyd with a nice block, and then Boyd and Isaacs get tied up a little bit. Possession arrow gives it over to the Pack. Just the second turnover for Georgia. Johnson lost the ball. 6 turnovers now for State. Morrison gives it right back. Good pace. We expected this. How about that? Diamond Johnson quickly becoming the fan favorite here.
There's no question. She's just an exciting player to watch. She's dynamic. She can score at all 3 levels.
And now a little bit of a tussle closer to the basket. I think Mallory Bates is going to come out for Jenna Stady. She and Boyd are exchanging.
Well, right away you can see Jada Boyd just physical in transition.
Little love taps.
Little love taps, yeah.
The officials now discussing.
It looked initially like he may have called a double foul.
And that is Joe Vasili indicating just that.
The call on the floor is a double intentional foul on 5 gray and 20 red. We are reviewing for anything else possible.
Double intentional foul.
Well, the possession before, it had been Jada Boyd and Jordan Isaacs. And I think Joe Vasili right away wants to make sure they get control of this ball game. It looks like Jada Boyd might have fallen, tripped.
So as the officials continue to review it, Pualani Spurlock Welsh came over.
And she just mentioned that they had called the double intentional foul, and because it's a double intentional foul, we go back to point of interruption, and it's Georgia basketball.
Okay. So yeah, the officials trying to get this under control. And these two teams have not played an official game in 20 years, but did scrimmage each other at a secret scrimmage a couple of years ago.
Yes, the closed scrimmage, and Westmore said that we did not fare well in that scrimmage.
And he let us, that was what the first thing I think he told his team to shoot around this afternoon. Well, payback for a scrimmage loss. Westmore.
And look, we've got top 25 teams. You know, this is a big game for both teams to really see where they are. It's a great non-conference matchup. It's going to be a little chippy. It's going to be a little chippy, and right away, the officials want to make sure that they get control of it. But this is what you want to see as a fan, right? Like, you want to see competitiveness. Right. You want to see 2 teams battling.
Certainly seen a lot of fire from both teams. NC State winners of 10 in a row, losing only to South Carolina. Great wins against Maryland and Indiana, and now taking on Georgia. Georgia's only loss came to Georgia Tech. The Fighting Nell Fortners, who took down UConn as well. So Mallory Bates called for
The ruling on the floor is confirmed. Double intentional fouls on 5 gray and 22 red.
Jada Boyd for State, Mallory Bates for Georgia.
You see in transition, and it really does look like Jada Boyd trips over her own feet and runs into Mallory Bates, but then there's a little extra after. You know, there's some words, there's exchanges.
And a good job by Joni Taylor to sit Bates down so she can maybe cool off a little bit. Boyd stays in the game for State. Waning seconds of a very entertaining first quarter. Stady. She's
just so efficient.
Really poised, under control. Ties the ball game up. State trying to take the lead. Johnson, she'll shoot it. And that puts a capper on the first quarter. Georgia and State tied up at 20. NC State shot 64% from the floor in that quarter. Balanced scoring for both teams. Westmore's club tied up after one.
Get groceries, gifts, and more fast and easy. So last-minute guests are the only thing you'll be waiting on. Joyfully.
We can't help you with your passion for ceramics, or macrame, or wood carving. But we can provide you with relevant insights, focused guidance, and investing knowledge to help you shape the retirement you want. At T. Rowe Price, we know retirement, not crafting. Get insights for retirement investing today at troweprice.com.
Thousands have been affected by southern and Midwest tornadoes. If you would like to help, please visit redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond and help people recover from this horrible disaster that affected so many states and families. If you can. Pam Ward and Stephanie White joining you from Reynolds Coliseum. Tie ball game after one quarter of play between these two top 25 teams. 18 combined field goals in that first quarter. Each team had 6 players score.
It's fun. And both of these coaches talked about it. 5 players on the floor. All 5 positions can score. Disciplined defense. Scout defense execution is going to be critical.
Elisa Canane only played 4 minutes in that first quarter. Just had 2 points, picked up 2 fouls. She's been on the bench ever since. And Q Morrison hits the shot. And how about for Q Morrison, 5 steals in the first quarter. Every 30 seconds, she's stealing the ball. Or every 2 minutes. One of those, every 2 minutes.
I mean, you can't get anything by Q Morrison, right? Like, her arms are long, her hands are quick, she's getting a hand on the ball. You got to protect it.
That's what she's known for. That was one of the concerns for Westmore. State wanting the ball, and that's a bad pass. Too many hands in the way. Crutchfield comes out of the crowd, and there's a kick ball.
Right idea. Could have gone one more pass to Johnson for that entry as well.
Raina Perez coming in for Jakia Brown-Turner. So Perez on the floor at the same time as Johnson. Both point guards.
And I think you'll see that a lot. I mean, Diamond Johnson's just a scorer.
Yeah.
Right, so she can play off the ball. Perez is a high IQ player who can get them into offense. I think they do complement one another well when they're on the floor together. Now, they're small.
Yeah.
They're small, so teams that might be able to take advantage of that, but they're also quick and tough.
Johnson is listed as 1 inch taller than Perez, which has been a little bone of contention, I hear. They're both around, I'd say, 5'5"-ish. Hobby, that's a sweet little move.
That's a great move. You know, Camille Hobby's so active, does a great job of slipping to the rim, stays under control.
Playing because Canane is on the bench. And this is a player, Chloe Chapman, who is a junior from Mitchellville, Maryland.
Also the home of our very own Pam Ward.
Yes, and Lindsay Allen, former Notre Dame point guard. And she is a really good soccer player, but now solely concentrating on basketball, #1 in red. And Joni Taylor really excited to have her in the system full time now instead of sharing her with soccer. Coming up on the ACC Network on Tuesday, it is The Huddle, a bowl preview special. The ACC sending 10 teams to the bowl, including NC State, who plays UCLA in the San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl. Check it out. The guys get you started on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. I remember when it was just the Holiday Bowl. Now there's a lot of words.
That's the same one?
I believe. Still in San Diego.
Okay.
It's still a holiday. And it's still football.
Still football.
Still football. Georgia playing a big bowl game
Yes,
as well.
yes.
They're going to play Michigan in the Orange Bowl on New Year's Eve. People down in Athens all fired up, trying to come back from that loss to Alabama.
We were not supposed to mention that, Pam.
I'm sorry.
An SEC championship matchup.
Anticipation.
Great job.
Johnson gets it to the point guard, Perez. Now Hobby. Spinning, but took steps. Guarded by Jillian Hollingshed, who is back after missing a game. It's a little knee tenderness. A couple of players with Georgia also missed games with the flu. Thank goodness it was only the flu. So we're starting to see some more games getting canceled across the country with COVID flare-ups. Hugh Morrison into Bates, who got bumped. Now Hobby wants to travel. There was no doubt she traveled, but and that's what they got.
Joe Vasily comes in and makes sure he communicates it with his officiating teammate. That's a tough position to put a post player in. Off the move, multiple defenders right there. It really is. And, Hugh Morrison playing some of the point guard position this year, Chloe Chapman as well. Gabby Connolly graduated, who played the point guard position for 4 years at Georgia.
Gabby Connolly must be a Secret Service agent interning with that department.
Yes. A great opportunity for her. Her first internship was canceled because of COVID and was able to get another one this summer.
Now there's some length there, right? With Hollingshed at 6'5", a freshman.
Jillian Hollingshed is going to be a special player. I mean, she's somebody who comes in with all the tools and right now has extreme athleticism. Once she learns and understands the game and the system and continues to work on her skill set, and her ceiling is incredible. Just comes in the ball game, really good post position, uses her length to shoot over a defender. I mean, she's a special, special talent.
Tony Taylor said she kind of reminds her of Lakeisha Fred, who longtime basketball fans remember. I know you remember.
Was a great player, Freddie. Played in the WNBA for a long time, and you see Jillian Hollingshed right there, one of 2 McDonald's All-Americans that came in as freshmen for Georgia this year.
Tony Taylor stepping up the recruiting game. That's just sick. Oh my. Hobby works. Johnson's a human highlight reel, right?
Yes, she is.
They left Morrison alone. Hobby able to get the rebound after a couple of caroms.
Well, dodge one there. I mean, both of these teams' transition defense is a key. Not just getting back, but getting back and finding a body, matching up in transition.
Johnson has it rim out. So Morrison looking. Barker pulls it. Missed. Perez takes one, and this NC State team second in the nation. Only Texas A&M has a higher three-point percentage as a team. So they're yelling air ball at Barker, and she's the kind of player that's going to probably want to
be motivated by that.
Might motivate her a little bit. Great job by Morrison to stop that break.
Hugh Morrison has 5 steals, but I guarantee you she has at least 8 to 10 deflections.
NC State down by 5, timeout at Reynolds.
Get groceries, gifts, and more fast and easy. So last-minute guests are the only thing you'll be waiting on. Joyfully.
While his neighbors were asleep, our man Scrooge was digging deep.
The Peloton bike brought motivation galore.
Work Peloton!
His workouts were lit, and he kept finding more. As the seasons changed, Scrooge got fit until he called out,
"Child, what day is it?"
"It's August 19th.
The kid returned with a shout. When your workout's a joy, it's a joy to work out.
Georgia has a 5-point lead over NC State. They've been playing the last 11 minutes with Cunane on the bench with 2 fouls. Q Morrison, how about tying a career high in steals in the very first quarter?
In the first quarter. I mean, she's been incredible, and this is what she's known for, right? She's known as a defensive stopper. She's been Defensive Player of the Year in the SEC. Her offense is really just starting to progress and catch up with her defense, and this is why. I mean, look at this timeline. Injury after injury after injury. Last season was her first healthy season. And when you're not able to participate because of injury, you're not able to work on your game. You're not able to get shots up. You're not able to practice. You're not able to get a rhythm, timing, all of those things that offense takes. Now, defense is about effort. It's about hustle. It's about want to. So she has always been ahead in that realm, and now healthy and really seeing the fruits of her labor in terms of her work ethic on the offensive end of the floor.
NC State just committed its 10th turnover. They average about 12.5 per game. Their shooting has gone south in the second quarter after a hot first quarter in which they shot 64%. That's a walk on Coons.
Yeah, travel is a point of emphasis, and so far we've seen 4 or 5 travel calls.
So NC State 0 for 2 from 3 in this quarter, along with the 13% overall. And there's another foul. College basketball triple header men's games comes your way Saturday afternoon on the ACC Network and the ESPN app starting at 2 Eastern. It's UVA and Fairleigh Dickinson. The Vikings of Cleveland State go to Duke, and Lehigh travels to Syracuse. Check it out on the ACC Network and streaming on the ESPN app. Sophie Hart, number 32 in gray, in for NC State to give Hobby a little bit of a break as Kayla Jones hits the 3.
Yeah, Westmore not wanting to take a chance, putting Elisa Cunane back in the ballgame with those 2 fouls, so goes down the depth chart. And Jillian Hollingshed showing she's got the range, too. I mean, this is a kid in AAU and in high school, has 3-point range, is confident in taking the 3-point shot. Really continuing to see her grow in her role here with this Bulldogs program.
On the run, Coombs gets it to Morrison. As Joni Taylor calls a play for Coombs. And Coombs just went right around traffic.
Well, we saw NC State work against this play and shoot around today, and that tight little horn set, that on-ball screen, you're not going to be able to get there if you go underneath. You've got to go over the top. You've got to emergency switch it. That was too easy.
Hart on the follow got fouled. They're going to get Barker.
Well, Jenna Stady has been so efficient inside. She demands the double team and the inside out, and Michaela Combs coming off of the on-ball screen. She probably had a lane all the way to the rim for a layup.
Yeah, you could see that Brown Turner had no chance to get through there. Sophie Hart at the free throw line. Only averages about 5 minutes a game, just under a point per game in there again because Cunane on the bench with 2 fouls. Camille Hobby coming back in for her right now. Coming up next, more ACC Network women's basketball. Haley Van Lith and number 6 Louisville welcome Eastern Kentucky. Following us on the ACC Network and the ESPN app, the only 2 games in which ranked teams are playing are right now on the ACC Network with us, and then Louisville, Eastern Kentucky to follow.
Well, that Louisville-Kentucky matchup was a good one. That was a fun one to watch, and Haley Van Lith hit a big pull-up jumper in that ball game.
So Camille Hobby, is back in for NC State. Cunane. It's got to be frustrating, right? You know this is a big game, and especially that second foul was silly after she had the ball taken away, the reach foul that sat her down.
Well, and if she's not so nice on that second foul, she's going to her guard and saying, you just got me that foul because you didn't come use me on the handoff.
Lisa Cunane, known as Big Smile, and Westmore said that he would prefer a big scowl would be a better one, because sometimes she could be just a little bit too nice. Great kid.
Yeah. You know, we hear that from coaches all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like these guys come in and it's like they're just too nice.
Yes. So Hugh Morrison at the line after the foul on Johnson. How do you get a nice player, a nice kid, to be a little bit different when they get in between the lines?
I mean, that's the thing, right? You have to have two identities. Like, you have to have an identity between the lines that you're just so competitive and have a little bit of dog in you, a little bit of fire in you. And then when you step off the floor, you can go back to being nice.
Yeah. Nice play by Stady to block Hobby and get the held ball. And being called a dog is a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Yes. One little dog.
Shoot, in athletics, it's a good thing.
Coombs should be all over. That's Georgia basketball, isn't it?
It is. I mean, Georgia forces, gets almost 10 steals a ball game. They force a lot of turnovers with their length, their quickness, their physicality. It's not going to be easy. Everything you do has to be intentional at a high intensity level. I mean, that's just a soft pass over the top. You're not going to get that with a quick, scrambling defense, and Michaela Coombs gets an easy two.
NC State continuing to have trouble holding on to the ball. 12 turnovers that Georgia has turned into points. 7. Only 7 off 12. Could be worse, right?
It could be worse. Some of them have been dead ball turnovers, but Westmore talked to us about the fact that we have to limit our turnovers and we have to take away their transition. Well, turnovers for scores kill your ability to take away transition.
Absolutely.
There's no transition defense for that.
Trying to get it into Stady. Oh, Barker goes down and they get the charge call. Yeah, Barker's got a little bit of dog in her, huh?
She does. She really does. I mean, Johnny Taylor talked about it. Tough as nails, get in your face. I mean, right here does a good job of sliding her feet, establishing herself first. Brown Turner lowers the shoulder.
And to further that, Coach Taylor says she looks like a Siberian Husky, which is such a compliment.
It is a compliment. Yes. I don't get the reference.
The blue eyes, she says with her hair down, she's my Siberian Husky. And her name's Barker.
Well, and she's fearless. I mean, you want players that are fearless, and there's Stady again showing the range.
Biggest lead of the game. It is a dozen. We're inside 50 seconds to go. The number 2 team in the country down 12. Only the number 1 team in the country has beaten them. That's South Carolina. Nice move to the bucket.
And smart play again by NC State. Anytime Jenna Stady's guarding a post player on the perimeter that has the ability to take it off the bounce, attack her, get by her, get a layup, or force a rotation.
Boyd did just that. Couple of seconds difference in the clocks. Morrison to Stady over Hobby, who fouled her. That is just the first on Hobby, getting extended minutes.
Westmore not happy about the call, but you can't even make that close. I mean, it's a jump shooter. You certainly have to be there to contest, but you can't make that close.
Stady with 11 and counting in this half. The only player on either team in double figures with the balanced scoring that we've talked about. Yeah, Stady has turned into a really solid player.
Well, they call her Steady Stady. because she's always just consistent, solid. You know what you're going to get night in and night out.
State with the chance. Perez gets it over. The shot by Brown-Turner off the mark. And down a dozen. The number 2 team in the country, NC State, facing its greatest halftime deficit of the season. Lots to talk about for Wes Moore as he goes in. Only 4 minutes with Elisa Cunane certainly didn't help, but Georgia is a good basketball team.
An execution on the defensive end of the floor. He talked about it in the huddle. They've given up 40 points. Georgia's shooting the ball extremely well. Wes Moore's not going to be happy with that.
All right, so we have hit the halftime now for our ACC Network halftime report with Drew Muffet.
All right, fam.
Well, welcome back to Reynolds Coliseum. A week from tomorrow night, this guy's going to be really busy right now getting his basketball on. Santa watching NC State trail Georgia by 12 at the half. A couple of top 25 teams, Pam Ward along with Stephanie White. And NC State, foul trouble for Elisa Cunane, but not good when you have twice as many turnovers as made field goals in the second quarter.
No, not at all. The Georgia length, athleticism, and quickness on the defensive end really disruptive for the NC State offense.
And Jenna Stady, how about getting some stuff done for Georgia?
Steady, Stady, definitely getting it done. Inside, outside, good job on the post up. 12 points, 4 of 6 on the floor, 2 of 3 from the three-point line. She's really showing all of her offensive skill set here tonight. She has 2 blocks as well to go along with that. And she's been the centerpiece. She's been the anchor on both ends for Georgia.
And has not had to face Elisa Cunane, who sat for 16 of the 20 minutes of the first half in foul trouble. The story, you see it right there. Most points NC State's allowed in the first half. Elisa Cunane out there. Or what do you prescribe by if you have 2 fouls, you have to sit for the rest of the half, or does that depend on personnel and who you're playing?
I think it depends on personnel, who you're playing, how tight you can keep the game in the first half. I was a little surprised that Wes Moore didn't go to her, but you know, to Georgia's point offensively, they wanted to attack her. They wanted to force her to defend. They wanted to try to get her in foul trouble. They were able to do that. What adjustments does she make in the second half? How does NC State get her back into a rhythm in the ball game early in this half?
And she and Jenna Stady, certainly one of the focal points in this game. Perez comes away with the first miss. Cunane running the floor. Good way to start.
It's a great way to start. And she is, you mentioned it, in the best shape of her life, running the floor extremely well. And if she can beat Jenna Stady up and down the floor and find her like that, that's a good sign.
Yeah, she is faster than Stady and should be able to do that with regularity. Barker gets it out to Stady, now being guarded by Cunane out on the perimeter. Hugh Morrison tying a career high with 5 steals in the very first quarter. They're going right to her and right at Stady.
Well, we heard Muffet McGraw mention it, you know, at halftime, getting into transition. Kelly mentioned it as well. Get the ball inside to Cunane, get her touches. They were both right on the money.
And this crowd starting to come alive. 3 straight buckets for Cunane. Oh, short. Gramlich also talking about how it seemed that Georgia played with a lot more energy in that first half. A couple of teams that both like to get it up and down the floor quickly.
Well, and look, Georgia's a team where defense fuels their offense, and they were outstanding on the defensive end. It gave them a lot of energy.
Morrison ran right into Crutchfield. Had to take the shot. Georgia's not hit a shot yet in this quarter. And Stady and Cunane kind of tied up. Morrison got blown right by. Crutchfield with the primal stream. They've cut the lead in half.
Right away, establishing pace, establishing tempo, pushing in transition, getting the ball to Elisa Cunane on the rim run, really good run, and directly inside post entry, NC State's starting to make a run.
The airport can be a real challenge for new homeowners who have become their parents.
Okay, everybody, let's do a ticket check. Paper tickets. We're off to a horrible start.
But we can overcome it.
We're not going to point out our houses, landmarks, or major highways during takeoff.
Don't buy anything. I packed so many delicious snacks. They're...
Nope.
Did you say ballpark when Group 2 is going to get boarded?
2 hours and 58 minutes.
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto when you bundle with us.
Someone should have left home earlier.
All the gifts you really, really, really can't wait to unwrap. Joy fully.
Elisa Cunane limited to only 4 minutes in the first quarter, and she has announced her presence with authority here in the third.
Well, what a great start. Just getting an easy bucket in transition, getting a little bit of confidence. You know, she's well rested. Hopefully she was able to get loose at halftime. But NC State's picked up the pace. They picked it up on the defensive end, their intensity level, and pushing in transition.
And here comes the defense again in transition. Brown Turner blocked from behind by Stady. And a technical foul called on Wes Moore. Carla Fountain making the call, and Wes Moore looking a bit perplexed. You can read his lips. He's saying, "What's it for?"
Every coach that gets a technical says, "What's it for?"
Even you?
Right? Yeah, even me. No, that's not really the case. But Wes Moore is certainly defending his players. It was a very physical basketball game. He knew it would be. Jenna Stady just did a really good job in transition of getting back and getting a hand on that.
And Morrison shooting the technical free throws.
Well, in transition, looking to get a transition three. And probably from, as you can see, Coach Moore over there stomping with his feet. And probably from his angle, it did look like a foul, the way that Stady reached over the top. But she got a clean block.
Definitely a clean block. Isaacs getting over, and Georgia's shots have been off in this quarter as Coombs misses.
NC State sticking with the game plan, going under those on-ball screens, forcing contested jump shots, recovering back quickly.
Georgia has not hit a field goal, and this quarter, NC State only had 8 points in the second quarter.
The only other time they've scored single digits in a quarter was against South Carolina with 8 points as well.
Louisville, Eastern Kentucky, following us on the ACC network. Perez's three is off. State was hitting threes early, but they pulled off. Hollinshed. Good defense by Jones.
Better offense.
Yes.
Better offense. I mean, that's a freshman right there. Staying poised, she turns into a wall. And that was really good defense by Kayla Jones.
Crutchfield. Nope. Hollinshed gets the miss, gets it up to Barker. And she's just going to go right to the basket.
Gotta stop the ball in transition. Nobody gets in front of Sarah Ashley Barker. That's an easy two.
Sophomore now has 7. So after the technical foul, offense coming alive a little bit, and they've gotten the lead back up to 12, which is where it was at the half. Brown Turner guarded by Barker. Shoots over.
I think it's the key of Brown Turner. has to be more offensive-minded for this NC State team. You know, she really is an X factor, and there are times this season where she's going up and down in terms of her point production. Down about 4 points per game on average from last year. After the turnover, Perez. Her second three of the night, and a great find in transition. You know, Johnny Taylor told us we can't trade threes for twos. It's got to be twos for twos. And great help defense. 14 turnovers now for the Dogs. Barker stops the transition play at least. With Georgia in transition, no one stops the ball. Sarah Ashley Barker recognizes it and gets an easy two. And transition threes for NC State. This is exactly what they want to do. They want to spread the floor. They want to find the open shooter and knock it in. Each team with 4 threes now. Kunane again. Off the inbounds. 6 points in under 5 minutes of this quarter for Kunane. Just like that, it's a 5-point lead. And a 3-second violation, another turnover for Georgia. Well, we can talk about the NC State offense in the third quarter, but it's been their defense, and the 7-0 run that they've been on right now has been started on the defensive end of the floor. They've been active. They've been more attuned to scout defense, and Westmore said to us today, our offense is going to have days where it's not there. We have to be more locked in and committed on the defensive end of the floor.
And they have been that here in the third quarter. There's a kick and a timeout on the floor. Lisa Kunane back on the floor, making a big difference. 12-point lead is down to 5.
You're watching the two-time ACC champs on the ACC Network. Go Pack!
All the gifts you really, really, really can't wait to unwrap. Joy fully.
Of all the things that made Scrooge pout, he most disliked running and striding about. Until he discovered the Peloton tread. Sprinting and lifting sweat dripped from his head. His legs sang out like a Christmas choir. This grump was hashtag on fire. Now Scrooge ran the holidays, no doubt. When your workout's a joy, it's a joy to work out.
Welcome back to Reynolds Coliseum, where NC State has come out of the locker room a different team.
They sure have. They've been getting it done on the defensive end and taking care of the basketball. One of Westmore's keys was limiting turnovers. And when you're a team that shoots the ball at such a high rate like they do, you want to give yourself more opportunities to get shots up. That means you have to take care of the basketball.
Lisa Kunane, limited by foul trouble in the first quarter, has as many points in the second half as Georgia. They each have 6. And now they're trying to get even closer. Perez running the point.
This is an advantage right here. Let Brown Turner drive her to the rim.
Yep, Stady guarding her has the height advantage, but Brown Turner quicker, couldn't take advantage. We've not seen Diamond Johnson, who usually comes in after the first media timeout for State. There's Stady. You've got to be there on the catch. Jenna Stady is a spot-up three-point shooter. She's a catch-and-shoot. You have to be there and force her to put the ball on the floor. Hey, Kunane is working. Westmore talked to us about her being a little bit more finesse than he would like her to, but right now she is battling, physical inside, getting good position. Stady called for the personal foul. Sends Lisa Kunane to the free throw line. Gets there on average 4 times a game. Preseason ACC Player of the Year coming up Tuesday at 6 Eastern Time. Let's get you ready for all the bowl games as we take you to the huddle. NC State going to play UCLA, one of 6 teams in a bowl this year. Check it out on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. More pressure defense. Hollingshead able to rescue it for now. Backup point guard Chloe Chapman back in. Cunane with the board and great box out. Cunane has taken 7 threes this year, in case you're wondering why she didn't pull it out there. Brown Turner somehow able to recover. You can't stop Cunane.
Aggressive, physical, unselfish, give it up, get it back.
He's got a dozen, 10 points in less than 7 minutes. And Morrison with the crowd silencer, at least for now.
Well, they're going to keep feeding Cunane.
I think that's a good strategy.
I mean, you've got to be able to find a way. Right here, she's coming across after an on-ball screen. They're getting her loose, and she's going to work.
And you can tell she really wants the ball as well. Guarded by Bates that time down the floor. He just came in recently. Hollingshead posting up Cunane as Stady is taking a break. Chapman.
Good hands.
Wow, Perez able to save it with the help of Cunane. Kayla Jones working against Bates, goes the other way, draws the foul.
Early in the season, I was here for NC State in Florida, and Westmore talked about Kayla Johnson coming back from injury. She was on a minutes restriction. Jada Jones coming back from injury was on a minutes restriction. Jada Boyd was not able to play. The lack of depth at that position concerned him. Now both are coming back. Jones is getting confident. You see him in game shape and has been aggressive here today.
That season-ending injury in the first NCAA game they played against North Carolina A&T in March, had surgery in April. Kayla Jones on the Katrina McClain watch list, and when she heard about that, she couldn't have been more excited. She thought she'd maybe been forgotten, lost in the shuffle after the injury, but Kayla Jones, such an important player on this team.
She really is. You know, she's one of those X Factors glue kids who does a lot of little things.
Perez for a little bit too much contact out there on the perimeter. First on Arena.
Just a little too much body.
Yep. Riding her a little bit.
Yep. And Diamond Johnson back in the ballgame for NC State. I'd also look to put the ball in her hands, and Muffin McGraw called for it at halftime as well. Let her play with the ball in her hands. Get her some looks at the rim.
Cunane with another good box out. Diamond Johnson is number 0 for State on the other side of the floor right now. Ball goes out of bounds, stays with State.
This is the third different defender that Georgia's brought in the ball game to match up with Cunane. So Jenna Stady goes to the bench early. Mallory Bates using length. Javin Nicholson coming in, using her body, physicality. And Georgia goes to 2-3 zone underneath out of bounds. Diamond Johnson makes them pay.
Automatic. The Rutgers transfer electrifying the crowd. It's a 2-point game. And another foul out on the perimeter, this time on Johnson.
Georgia likes to play 2-3 zone on baseline out of bounds, and NC State just finds the shooter, the bonfire off the bench.
Big time. Pardon me, that foul not on Johnson, but on Crutchfield for NC State. Minute and a half to go. NC State has outscored Georgia by 10 in this quarter. Shot clock getting skinny. Morrison has to do something, and good defense. Crutchfield They're going to say, Joe Vasili does, that it's Georgia's ball, but a silver lining if you're NC State, there's only 1 second left on the shot clock.
Yeah, got to be smart, got to be disciplined right here. NC State might be lucky they didn't get away with the foul call right there with Diamond Johnson.
Wow. Physicality on the underneath as the shot clock violation is official. "17 turnovers." There you see it. They've passed NC State in that category this quarter.
Q Morrison just denying Diamond Johnson the basketball.
Jones open. That would have given State the lead. Canane ties it.
And there was a foul call. There was a foul call. That's an and one.
Yeah, it's so loud in here, no one heard it.
That play right there was started by that drive and the extra pass because Georgia's in rotation. It is so tough to box out in rotation, and Genestady gets loose on the floor. Javon Nicholson inside. I'm not sure which one they got with the call, but it was so loud you couldn't hear the whistle.
No. And Elisa Canane gave out a scream after she got that. Now the officials are going over to look at the monitor. Yeah, I want to make sure that the clock is correct. But Reynolds Coliseum, they've done a great facelift of this building. You know, the same architect designed this than designed Cameron Indoor Stadium?
No, I did not know that. We're double checking the time to make sure no time came off the clock.
Carla Fountain coming over. Great communication with this officiating crew. And the foul goes to Stady, her second. Picked up a couple of quick ones here. Lisa Canane is a senior, can come back next year if she so chooses because of the pre-COVID year. Numbers down a little bit, only averaging 12.5 points per game. Up to 15, 13 in this quarter tonight. And NC State has taken the lead. In and out, rebound, Jones. Here comes State. Perez. The trail for Jones. And a foul on Georgia for holding Canane. Jordan Isaacs picks it up.
The activity level of Elisa Canane. I mean, I think this is, if you're a fan and you're watching NC State this year, this is what you expect from her, right? Demand the basketball, want the basketball, be aggressive to it. You know, it can't take 2 fouls and sitting an entire first half. This is the kind of mentality that she needs to play with every single day for NC State to do what they want to do in the postseason.
And she has not picked up a foul in this quarter. Georgia trying to take the last shot. Good defense. Crutchfield and Jones. KJ took it away. No foul call to end the quarter, which ended on a 7-0 NC State run, down a dozen going into the third. They'll be up 1 as we head into the fourth, and a lot of it because of Elisa Canane.
Now, she's been great in the third quarter. She gets in the ball game, makes an immediate impact, and look at the emotion. Loving
it. We can't help you perfect your pie crust or bake the world's greatest banana bread, But we can help you find the sweet spot between your everyday expenses and your retirement goals. With our guidance and insights, we'll help you put together a recipe for the retirement you want. At T. Rowe Price, we know retirement, not baking. Explore your options with our financial consultants today at troweprice.com.
Get groceries, gifts, and more fast and easy. So last-minute guests are the only thing you'll be waiting on. Joy fully.
A very different story for NC State in the third quarter. 24 points, 13 of them from Elisa Cunane, who outscored Georgia all by herself. Pam Ward and Stephanie White joining you, and State looking like the number 2 team in the country in that third quarter.
Yeah, that third quarter was outstanding on both ends of the floor. Really picked up their defensive intensity, execution on the offensive end, pushing in transition, taking care of the basketball. No turnovers in the quarter after having 13. And look at the numbers right here. Elisa Cunane, 13 points in that third quarter, as you mentioned. This is the matchup we've been tracking, and so far, they're right on top of it.
Jenna Stady did not score in that quarter, 0 for 2 from the floor, and NC State, 0 turnovers in the third, which was their problem. Holding on to the ball in the first half. Stady blocked Cunane. Led the SEC in blocks last year. NC State has never beaten Georgia, 8-0 all time in favor of the Dogs. Got Jones up in the air, and then the great wall of Cunane.
Yes, good defense.
Perez with the floater, a little bit too much on it. Now Q Morrison blows by Perez. Pull up, got it.
And Georgia's got to be able to get some scores in transition as well. And when they were at their best in the first half, their defense was creating their offense.
And Morrison has struggled with her shot. Has missed 8 of 11, but got that one to go. Cunane working it. Fouled by Stady, that's 3.
Jenna Stady was pleading her case.
Falling on deaf ears, certainly. And there you see the difference. Having to work a lot harder in this third quarter, as you mentioned, different bodies. Trying to guard Cunane to no avail. College basketball men's triple header Saturday afternoon. Start your day off at 2 Eastern time as Virginia plays Fairleigh Dickinson. Then it's Cleveland State at Duke and Lehigh Syracuse. Turn it on the ACC network or keep it in the app all day long. You got men's basketball.
NC State's gotten more opportunities at the foul line, which has allowed them to bring this three-quarter court pressure and continue to give Georgia different looks.
Morrison, nice little crossover. Stady can shoot it from there. Still has not scored in this half.
Yeah, it's tough to ice when you have a 5-player that can pop back like that, and you have to really trust your guard to get back quickly so that the big can recover out to the shooter.
Cunane kicks it out to Perez over Barker.
Step back 3, inside out. Everybody aware of Elisa Cunane inside. The dig gives just enough time and space to get it back out to Perez.
That is the third 3 for Perez.
10 seconds, didn't get it across.
There's the defense. Georgia's 8th turnover of the half. NC State has none. And the Pack have taken the lead. They were down 12 at the half. Riding a 10-game winning streak since their loss to number 1 South Carolina. Johnson, here's your offense.
Yep.
How do you stop that?
You can't stop that. You can't stop that. The biggest lead of the game for NC State, and they're doing it with the inside-outside combination.
Morrison drawing contact. That is the third foul on Cunane. Her counterpart, Jenna Stady, also with 3 fouls. But Cunane, playing the entire second half, just picks up her first foul after picking up 2 in the first 4 minutes of the game. Morrison delivering. Really been scoring well in the last 3 games for Georgia. 12 tonight. Johnson, Stady, got a hand on it. Morrison waiting for some help. Nope, do it herself. Nice rebound and put back. Great play by Michaela Coons. She couldn't come down with it because Cunane was going to be right there. Good timing. Good understanding. 8 for the former UConn Husky. Oh my gosh. Diamond Johnson. Game changer. And it was set up because of Elisa Cunane. I mean, what a great job of recognizing and just getting it out there. And Sarah Ashley Barker has the answer. That's the way this game started off, with both teams exchanging from the outside. Entertaining, great basketball here. Just a 2-point advantage. Nice look. Coons came in to help and forced the turnover. And good defense by Stady. In transition, you see the offensive putback by Michaela Coons. And that turnover was NC State's first of this half. Barker just hit from there and does it again. Feed the hot hand. Feed the hot hand. NC State's been coming with this pressure on made shots now, not just free throws. And Georgia's found a way to break it and get some scores. Yep, they're on top again. Now Cunane working. Jones. Nobody there to rebound but Hollinshed. Barker was thinking about it again. Hollinshed, yes. Stady over Cunane, a little bit too strong. That's a great crash. Yeah, crash it. Yeah, that's a great literally and figuratively, right? And Wes Morris talking to Raina Perez. He's been telling her multiple times she's got to box out and make contact. Perez called for that foul, her second. Just the second team foul for the Pack in this quarter. Hollinshed with the screen. They have to shoot. Coombs off balance. More good defense. Cunane now guarded by Hollinshed. Stady comes over to help. Well, Kayla Jones saved that possession. With her left hand! Elisa Cunane, 16 points in the second half. Pam, it's just the aggressiveness that she's playing with right now, and really wanting the ball. And you mentioned Kayla Jones making that extra hustle play to save the possession. Those are little things that she does that don't show up on stat sheets. Barker used her arm to get a little separation. Crutchfield nails it, no foul call. State up 3, but Sarah Ashley Barker contributing in this quarter. A couple of threes in transition for Sarah Ashley Barker. Great extra pass over the outstretched arms of Elisa Cunane. And NC State had the answer.
All the gifts you really, really, really can't wait to unwrap. Joy fully.
'Twas the holiday season and joy filled the town, except for Scrooge, with his perma-frown. The gift of a Peloton bike did touch his soul. Riding fast, flowing proud, getting hella swole.
You can do it! I'm doing it!
Was Scrooge a new man? Oh, without doubt. When your workout's a joy, it's a joy to work out.
Wally for the win! National champion! Dynasty fulfills its destiny! The greatest in history!
Well, back in Reynolds Coliseum, Elisa Cunane has been the story in the second half. 16 points. She was saddled with 2 early fouls, didn't play for much of the first half, and has established herself in the second half, and NC State has the lead because of that.
They've only given up 22 points in the second half to Georgia, who led by 12 at the break. NC State shooting 56% in this quarter.
And again, 1 turnover in the second half compared to 13 in the first half. When you shoot the ball 50+% from the floor and you give yourself more possessions to do it, good things happen.
Inside 4 minutes to go, and a foul call with 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Crutchfield, their second. 3 team fouls now for the Pack, just 1 for Georgia. A shooting foul, so Morrison's at the line. Hughes, 7 of 8 from the line tonight. Good points. Half of her points coming from the line. Oh, Cunane could not get there. Sometimes bounce passes to people who are 6'5" can be problematic, right?
Sometimes.
If they're low,
yes.
that's a long way to go.
Yeah, and if they have position, you don't want to bring them out of that position either.
Right. State clinging to the 1-point lead. Barker guarded by Johnson. Stady forcing it inside. That is a foul. Good call, yes. Jada Boyd picks it up. Now 4 team fouls. Next one by State will put Georgia on the line.
There's that tight horns look again. Nice slip.
Beautiful execution. Morrison found Stady. We've had 6 lead changes in this quarter.
Hey, look, and Georgia's played some tight games. An overtime game to Notre Dame, a tight game and a loss at Georgia Tech. So they've been in this position before already this season.
Getting physical with Stady, and Cunane scores anyway. And Stady's holding her forehead. Cunane with 20 points, 18 in this half. And there was no foul called on this play.
Well, Lisa Cunane up and under.
The last play is under review.
Just comes down on that follow through.
And the officials are going over to look at the monitor.
I mean, they'll review it because she was hit in the head, but I don't see anything at that play. It's a basketball play. It's a follow through by Cunane.
Stady has made her way over to the team huddle.
Ruling on the floor is confirmed. Play on, incidental contact.
So, just as you called it, Steph White, it is being called a basketball play. I think she lost an eyelash on that play.
off the record or on the record, Pam, I'll be happy when this eyelash fade is gone.
Those are some substantial ones for Stady.
Yeah,
Georgia down one with the ball.
And a lot of action running Sarah Ashley Barker off of those screens. So a prime opportunity for something like that, a drive.
Yeah, but Morrison missed everything. Barker hustle. Coombs could not save it. Nice effort, but the ball hit her after it hit Perez. Yeah, the officials making sure that the shot clock resets to 30.
This is a big offensive possession right here for NC State. You know, it's a dead ball. You want to come down. You certainly want to establish Cunane inside. The decision on whether to make the move or get it back out. I'd still like to see Diamond Johnson get involved.
Yeah, Barker with the kick.
And you put Diamond Johnson and Lisa Cunane right now in a two-man game.
Ooh. Johnson with 13, Cunane with 20, the top two scorers for them in this game. There's Diamond. Go get her.
Yes. She has that flirt game. She has the ability to hit that. And then the next time Cunane is open on the roll.
Diamond Johnson, just a sophomore. Played her freshman year at Rutgers. Stady, nice move around Cunane. She's got 19.
And we're seeing two skilled bigs going at it inside, using moves and counter moves, footwork, and oh my goodness, Reina Perez with the inside hand finish.
Yeah, Perez usually not a player they lean on to score, but we've seen her hit 3 threes, and she's into double figures.
She's so solid. Yeah. You know, she's so solid. She doesn't make a lot of mistakes. She understands, you know, when to score, when to facilitate.
Hollingshead, that is another whistle.
Good look inside, good position by Hollingshead. And Jada Boyd might have gotten the ball up top, but the follow-through got her body.
After we are finished here, we will take you to Louisville, where number 6 Louisville and Haley Van Lith and company get ready to take on Eastern Kentucky right here on the ACC Network. Hugh Morrison with the foul. I got to tell you, Eastern Kentucky and Louisville got a tough act to follow after this game.
They sure do. This is an exciting one, and we're going to have an exciting finish.
Just what we expected. Honestly, it doesn't happen very often.
It's happening tonight.
We're under a minute. Johnson, oh my goodness!
Stay in it. Put those two in the two-man game.
A long two. She's enjoying it. The fans eating it up. Most of them on their feet at Reynolds. Big answer. Needed it badly. To get to within 2, that's Morrison.
Stay with it. Stay with the two-man game. Go back to it. Put your two most dangerous scorers on the floor. Give them to operate.
Timeout with 12 seconds left on the shot clock, taken by Wes Moore. We will take a 30-second break and be back for the finish.
While his neighbors were asleep, our man Scrooge was digging deep. The Peloton bike brought motivation galore.
Work Peloton!
His workouts were lit, and he kept finding more. As the seasons changed, Scrooge got fit until he called out,
Child! What day is it?
It's August 19th.
The kid returned with a shout. When your workout's a joy, it's a joy to work out.
Get groceries, gifts, and more fast and easy. So last-minute guests are the only thing you'll be waiting on. Joyfully.
Welcome back. We've had 7 lead changes in this fourth quarter. Georgia up by 12 at the half, trailing by 2. And the third quarter belonged to Elisa Canane. The fourth quarter, Johnson really doing some damage.
Well, we were just waiting for Diamond Johnson to break out. She can score quickly. She can score in bunches.
She's 12 second half points.
Yep, little pick and roll. Gotta go. Gotta go.
Johnson, a little bit of a high dribble, puts it up, a little bit too strong. Hollingshed with a huge rebound. Timeout, Georgia, with plenty of time left. They can advance the basketball.
Yeah, I mean,
and a chance to tie it at least.
And you're down, so you want to go as if you're Georgia as quickly as you can, just to make sure that you get a score and an offensive rebound opportunity. But look, I mean, Georgia's been in these games. They had a 1-point loss to Georgia Tech. They had a win in overtime against Notre Dame. So they've been in these situations. And you see right now, Georgia leads this series 8-0. But this is a seasoned veteran team. So this is a team that's gone into tough environments. It's a team who return players for their 5th year, their COVID year, who've been in these situations. So execution out of timeout offensively, and for Westmore, execution out of a timeout defensively, defending without fouling, forcing Georgia to hit tough, contested shots. And you can only give one shot. You cannot allow an offensive rebound.
So if you're Georgia, what option do you think is the best right now?
Well, you want to get the ball to Jenna Stady, but how you do it, depends. And Georgia runs a lot of ISOs for her on the block, get her a touch on the block. Could put her in the 2-man game to get Q Morrison running downhill as well, but Jenna Stady's going to touch the ball.
And rebounding, NC State out rebounding Georgia by only 1. Usually they're plus 12 on the season on average, and the fans here standing. Parker, Morrison, Q, guarded by Crutchfield, drew the foul. With just over 10 seconds left on the clock.
Well, you put a lot of pressure on the defense when you attack, and Q Morrison has been doing an outstanding job of getting to the rim.
She is now 8 of 9 from the line.
She's an 87% free throw shooter, so you expect her to step up and make them.
And she didn't. And the smallest player on the floor, Diamond Johnson, got the rebound, and State calls a timeout. Now, Georgia only has 2 team fouls, so a couple of fouls to give. 9.7 seconds left.
And you got to do it quickly. First and foremost for NC State, the most important thing is to get the ball in bounds where you have a timeout, right? Where you have a timeout. And for Georgia, try to get a hand on it, try to get a deflection and quick fouls, because you can't allow NC State to run time off the clock.
Looks like Jordan Isaacs will be checking in for Georgia, good defensive player.
Chloe Chapman as well, I believe, looking to get quick athletic guards.
Very quick. Morrison, usually money at the line. Is 8 of 10, 80% tonight, but she's going to remember that one if they can't come back.
Oh, and if NC State, you might have a direct close entry to Canane here. There's a size advantage, putting what little size they have on the ball right now.
Yep, with Stady out of the game. Oh, Canane.
That's a good foul.
Well, Barker's dad was a very good quarterback at the University of Alabama.
She's got a brother that's a quarterback there now, and
another brother who's a quarterback at UAB, and she got a little football feistiness herself.
That's right.
But remember, that's just the 3rd team foul.
So you got to do it again.
And they did do it quickly, the first one. Perez gets it. And now runs away. Good play by Perez. Barker grabs her.
That's a risky bounce pass right there, too, and Perez saved that play.
Big smile from her. That killed about 3 seconds.
Yep.
So the next foul will put State on the line. Got the length guarding Johnson with the inbounds. Cunane is fouled right away by Morrison. So Elisa Cunane heading to the free throw line where she is 4 of 5 tonight. And 84% on the season.
And Georgia bringing their bigs back in. You want to make sure you get a rebound off of a free throw if there's a miss. You know, they have a timeout, so make or miss. Timeout right away so they can advance the basketball.
As we look across the floor, we see Joni Taylor making that sign to her team. Oh. And she's telling Joe Vasili, I'm calling a timeout. Stay with me. Missed them both, but Crutchfield with the rebound. Wow, Kai Crutchfield. Might have just saved the game.
Huge play, huge play. You've got to make contact. That's a long rebound, so that's a tough one, but you've got to drive back if you're Stady.
Got them both. Georgia takes the timeout. They need a 3 to keep this game going. Elisa Cunane missing 2 free throws.
Oh,
Crutchfield, though, able to get to the ball, even with Stady in front of her.
It's a big
and
possession.
Then Crutchfield hits them both.
Big possession. I mean, how many times as you know, coaches, you talk about free throw line box outs and how important they are. And right now, Joni Taylor and Georgia, they have to forget about that, and they have to worry about offensive execution. You've got Sarah Ashley Barker, who's a three-point shooter. You have Jenna Stady, who's a three-point shooter. And it looks like they might potentially be subbing in another three-point shooter as well.
Barker had only 11 threes on the season. Both she and Stady have 3 apiece tonight.
And Karen Lang in there drawing up a play. Karen Lang, who's just from down the road here in Raleigh.
Grew up an NC State fan. Their high school's a couple of miles from here.
Yes.
Here we go. Morrison inbounds. Barker, number 3.
Back screen.
Three-point
Good switch.
Stady getting it to Barker. She's the choice. Long 3. Got it! Sarah Ashley Barker nails the 3 with less than half a second to go, and that was a long one.
Are you kidding me? Watch this. This kid wanted the ball. 3 opportunities, didn't get it coming to her, didn't get it on the fade. There's that Siberian Husky look that Joni Taylor talks about. But the toughness, the swag, the who wants the ball in these situations. She steps up and launches that thing, and watch the react on the bench. I love it. I love it. Big moments, not afraid of the moment and the intensity level.
Yeah, you're right. She wanted that shot.
She wanted that shot.
Even if there were more seconds left, she wasn't giving that up. She's taking that shot. She's got 11 second-half points. Her 4th 3 of the evening has tied it up. So 0.4 of a second left, technically enough time to catch and shoot.
And Westmore calls another timeout. He wants to really look at this, really give his team the best possible chance in offensive execution. So he calls a second timeout. Pam, are you kidding me right now?
Wow,
oh my goodness.
Just when you think it can't get any better, right?
Yes.
That was an NBA, at least an NBA distance 3 by Barker to tie it up. NC State riding a 10-game winning streak. Number 2 team in the country, Georgia at number 17. And this is why we're tied.
Well, I mean, the offensive execution right here, good handoff. There's not a lot of time and space. Crutchfield is right there. But Sarah Ashley Barker creates just enough space with that dribble and over the outstretched hand, knocking it down.
Sophomore from Birmingham. Joni Taylor told us at shoot-around she would like to see her be more aggressive on offense. I think she's answered the call tonight.
Yeah, she's a player that is really finding herself, you know, where she fits in this Georgia offense. And now you know she's the one you can go to in the clutch moments.
Yeah. You gotta love that when players want the ball, right? In that situation. All right, not much time. Stady, at least a foot taller than Johnson, guarding the ball. Cunane wants it, and we will go to overtime.
Why not?
Let's go. Game like this deserves it. Georgia has been to one overtime this year. They beat, sorry Muffet, Notre Dame. Now they got a chance on the road at NC State. Overtime basketball coming up when we come back.
The locals can be a little rough on tourists, but it's nothing you can't handle.
Look for the bare necessities. Oh, hello, friend. Right after Baloo sung those words, I watched Barca take down Real Madrid. Later on, I'm watching all the drama go down on Love Island. That's live streaming the Disney bundle. You get Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus for only $13.99 a month. Because streams this amazing are meant for everyone to enjoy. You're a good stream, aren't you? The Disney bundle. It's streaming at its best.
Welcome back. About to start overtime. Sarah Ashley Barker with a game-tying three-point field goal with just under half a second to go. Lisa Cunane lighting it up in the second half, and Jenna Stady, most of her points coming in the first half. Pam Ward to Steph White. What more could you ask for right here, Steph White?
This has been exciting. Two teams that are battling it out, knocking shots down, getting it done on the defensive end. We're seeing good defense and we're seeing better offense.
Yeah, NC State shooting 50% for the game, over 40% from three. Georgia 8 of 17 from three, shooting better from three than from two. What a game.
And you said it best, Pam. This game deserves extra time. Let's play 5 more.
Go. Hollingshead in to jump against Cunane. So the Hollingshead playing with Stady. Big lineup in for Georgia. Coombs, a little bit too strong. Another rebound for Kayla Jones for 11. Cunane, blocked by Stady.
Good D.
Wow, what a matchup. 5 blocks for Stady. Best in the SEC last year in that department. Hugh Morrison gets it over to the hero so far. Barker passes, Hollingshead attacks, gets it.
Good decision by Sarah Ashley Barker. She probably had a rim finish at the other side, on the other side, but found the extra pass.
Oh, answer time. Elena Perez has been doing a lot of damage on the offensive end.
Solid, just solid, makes good, heady plays. Doesn't get too fast, plays with great pace.
Great pickup last year when they needed a point guard. Cunane fields Barker's miss. Telegraph pass, 2-on-1. 2-on-2 as Cunane is there. Barker challenging Cunane. Missed opportunity for Georgia on that turnover. Cunane left it short.
Trying to get up there. Barker, oh man, she's been making all the right plays. Hustle plays, rebounds, big shots.
Her 7th board. Stady. Got it.
I mean, you gotta get a hand up.
Cunane was there, but not close enough and didn't have her hand up to extend. Cunane at 6'5". Stady listed at 6'4". Stady with a new season high 21 points tonight. KJ to wide left.
I'd still like to see NC State get back to putting Diamond Johnson in a lot of that on-ball screen action with Cunane.
Yeah, it worked.
Let them go to work.
Worked there in the 4th quarter when State came back. Bouncing.
A little stagnant right now on offense.
Hollingshead gets the screen. Coombs with the floater and the charge.
Was that Kayla Jones again making that play?
Of course it was.
I mean, really good job getting there, establishing herself, beating Coombs to the spot. All the little things.
Second foul on Coombs. Jones attacking Stady, and it works.
That's a really good take. Now, Jenna Stady not staying down in good defensive position, just lets Jones go right around her.
Tied up again. Morrison. Spinning.
Oh, nice.
Oh, what a move by Q Morrison.
Footwork, pivots, they're important. Create space.
19 points, done with style that time. Rose thought about getting it into Cunane, who was just...
Jenna Stady's doing a great job inside.
Jones challenges Stady, who's called for the foul.
Well, you can see a little bit of fatigue because early in the ball game, Jenna Stady was able to handle this switch and stay in front of the ball handler. But now, 2 times in a row, Jones going around. And look at the pivot, the reverse, the pivot, the balance, the body control, good finish.
Beautiful work for Morrison. 4 fouls on Stady. Kayla Jones. Stady, as you mentioned, looking a bit winded. There is no one at the scorer's table. No subs coming in.
And they won't be. She's going to have to fight through this.
1 of 2 at the line for Jones. For Georgia, huge possession, up 1.
Q Morrison with the ball in her hands, going downhill has been big.
Yep.
Her ISO on the block right here.
Stady closed out well by Cunane. Got to shoot it. Morrison not going to get it off in time. Wow. An empty possession.
And now you got to get up. Now you got to get up. You can't be backing off the half court if you're Georgia. Get a little bit of ball pressure. A little bit of ball pressure.
Plenty of time for the Wolfpack. Inbounded at the hash. Chance for State to win. Cunane backing off against Stady, put it up, missed it. Stady gets the rebound, no foul called. 1.2 seconds left on the clock. And again, it's so loud in here. It's almost impossible to hear whistles. But no foul called. Georgia basketball with 1.2 seconds left to go. And Joni Taylor calls a timeout for the Dogs.
Well, it was an inadvertent whistle, so the ball was going to be out. Joni Taylor calling timeout so she can advance the ball and move it. Now NC State going inside to Cunane. Wes Moore elected not to use a timeout. And Genesee, could have been called for a foul right there, coming across, getting the offhand, but the no call. And then it looked like Crutchfield was going into foul, but an inadvertent whistle, and now Joni Taylor moving the basketball.
A nice ball fake by Cunane. Got a good look. There was contact, no foul.
And now I think they want to make sure that they've got the time right. When did the inadvertent whistle happen? How much time is on the clock?
Yeah, were it not for the whistle, it would have played on. It would have been Georgia basketball. The Eastern Kentucky and Louisville coming up when we are finished. So NC State appeared, or they were just seconds away from winning this game. But Sarah Ashley Barker had other plans.
She had other plans. Really good execution out of a timeout. Sarah Ashley Barker wanted the shot in the moment, steps up and knocks down a big one. Puts us into overtime. And again, Georgia's been here before this season, twice before, an overtime win against Notre Dame, a 1-point loss to Georgia Tech. So this is a team who's had these experiences, in-game, tight game experiences.
Georgia Tech, their only loss so far. South Carolina, the only blemish on NC State's resume. And Joni Taylor really believing in this team. Good ball club for Georgia this year.
It really is, and an experienced ball club. You look at bringing back Q Morrison, bringing back Jenna Stady. Jordan Isaacs has been a 3-year starter, for this team. Michaela Combs, who started at UConn, came to Georgia, comes back for another year as well. And then you blend in some young players in Sarah Ashley Barker and Jillian Hollingshed.
Now, Georgia has not beaten a number 1 or 2 team since 2004, when they beat then number 1 Tennessee in the semifinals of the SEC. So it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Been a minute. And 1.7 seconds left. Georgia just got to inbound it cleanly. Anticipate a state foul right away.
Well, right now, NC State, you've got to be in passing lanes. I would anticipate switches to deny.
Get it into Morrison. Foul as quickly as they could. That's Brown Turner with 0.6 seconds left to go.
And it was almost like she pulled up short. You have to be aggressive right there. That's a lot of time. The whole second ran off the clock.
Morrison, 8 of 10 from the line. Second half points for Q. 1 out of 2, timeout. Taken by Wes Moore before the final buzzer. So the officials will go over and make sure about the time. 0.3 put on the clock right away. Joe Vasili, whose crew has been busy tonight.
They have been, and they've really done a good job.
Georgia Bulldogs trying to upset NC State. They have never lost. The last time they played 20 years ago this very day. Georgia winning that game like they had the other games, 8-0 all time. Eastern Kentucky, Louisville will be following us. It's on the app right now if you want to check it out.
.3 seconds, so you've got to get something going to the rim, tip it up, tip it in, and Georgia putting Jenna Stady on the ball. So the size and length of Stady, you got to get it up.
Kunay not in the game. Got to shoot it, KJ not in time, and the Georgia Bulldogs have done it. Upsetting number 2 NC State in overtime. Heroics from Barker getting it to the extra period. Boy, what a game here in Raleigh.
My goodness, are you kidding me? This is exactly what we wanted, and they delivered.
Huge win for Georgia. The 10-game winning streak for NC State is over. First time they've beaten a team this highly rated in a long, long time. For Stephanie White, I'm Pam Ward. Let's send you over to Eastern Kentucky and Louisville.